Hi there, it's Kevin with GatheringMagic.com with match number 1 with our UG Flash. Yes, we'd like to play first. See if we have an Elvish Mystic in our opening hand. We do, so this can be a nice hand. We can do a second turn Divination, which will be fine. Or we could just go with Thornwood Falls into play tap. But I think that we're okay with just Elvish Mystic first turn and go with the Divination route. Or again, yeah, that's still fine. We'll Elvish Mystic here. Now, if I don't hit another untapped land, we won't be able to get Polukranos out on time. It will be a turn later, but that's still okay. Or I could just put a tap land into play this turn and not worry about a Divination. So it's going to be a Tranquil Cove, which could be a number of decks, U-White Heroic. I'm actually really worried about U-White Heroic. There's not a lot I can do against that deck. There is another Elvish Mystic, which I think I'll just end up playing another Elvish Mystic rather than Divination and apply some pressure. And then attack in here with this Elvish Mystic. And get him back down to a 20. So far, so good. We have a lot of mana here. We're going to have a turn 3 Polukranos. We'll have some card draw with Divination. We do need to hit into all of our counter magic now to counter anything that he puts out. And there's another Elvish Mystic, which we actually can put out. And I think I will. And we'll just throw out Mr. Polukranos, pass the turn, and see what our opponent stares us down with. So we can kill anything with Polukranos. So in great shape, another Tranquil Cove. He's gaining the life. And there's our Dissipate. So we should be in pretty decent shape. I'm not even going to quite Divination yet. We're just going to attack him with everything and put our opponent on the ropes. He's going to be taking 8 here. And down to 14. And again, if he's got like hostilities in his hand, we've got to answer for that. That's what I'm pretty excited about in this format. He has no surefire answer against counter spells. Like with Supreme Verdict, it was hard for a flash type deck to work with Supreme Verdict because there's nothing you could do against it. This, I've got the Dissipate. So again, I could actually chuck back. I'm just going to keep attacking with everything. And, man, he has gained a lot of life off those lands. And he's down to an 8. And I think he's probably holding up an hostility in his hand. And I had to Dissipate for it. So this should be game right here. 5, 6, 7, 8. Unless he plays another land that gains life. If he tries hostilities here, I should be able to do perfect amount of damage. And it's going to be a last breath on an Elvish Mystic, which is fine. Gives him a turn, though. Still not going to do anything about Kiora. We'll just swing in with everything. Get him down to a 2. Or a 1. Excuse me. And then pass back to him. Again, I got to think that hostility is in his hand. We most likely will be using the Dissipate no matter what he does. And he just scoops. So didn't get to see much of anything. We got to see a last breath, but this is going to be UI control. So the Disdainful Stroke will come in because all we really need to counter is the Elspeth, and as well as his hostilities. I don't think any Reclamation Sages. They could be an answer for... I'm going to just bring in 1 because it's something that I can kill a Banishing Light. So we want to bring in more threats and less like Polukranos in this one I don't think is that great, as it's just kind of slow. Boon Satyr gets in there for hits, so does Horizon Chimera. It's going to be these Icefeather Avens are okay. They're not terrible. They might just be a little bit slow though. And Chasm Skulker seem wonderful in this matchup. So want as much as possible. I don't think that I quite need an Elvish Mystic, though, to ramp up to it. Maybe I do want the Elvish Mystic. And I will take 1 out. And, we'll take 2 out and bring in these chords. And that way, I just don't want to be flooded with too many Elvish Mystics like we were last game, even though they end up working. And we'll submit this. So, unfortunately, this is going to be a mulligan, and we only have 1 land. And this one's better. We'll keep this. We have 2 comes to play tap lands, which will be fine. It might end up with our Yeah, we'll still end up with our Chasm Skulker on time. And so he's actually going to be an Esper deck, so did not see that coming. He's going to go the full out removal. So this is just a pretty good setup versus his deck. I actually like a flash deck versus a control deck. I think the tempo is perfectly made to beat out control, as usually I have answers. Whoa! Okay, I think he might... Now I have no clue. We're playing a 5-color control. I've only seen a Last Breath, and a bunch of Thornwoods and a Radiant Fountain. This deck is all over the place with their lands, so not a clue what we're up against. We'll go ahead and Temple of Mystery, and we'll be able to cast an Elvish Mystic here. Alright, so Chord of Calling is okay. It's instant speed that can go get a Sagu Mauler, but I don't want it at this point. I'd rather hit more land drops. We'll throw out the Elvish Mystic. Mystic can either play a little bit of like a ping down card each turn, 1 damage, 1 damage, 1 damage, or could get out a let's see. It could get out a Horizon Chimera next turn. So anyway, our opponent, nice little comment here. I had to go AFK for 2 seconds when he was actually the one delaying the game. But anywho, we will... Cool thing about Flash is we can keep up everything. I don't think he can actually deal with the Chasm Skulker, though. He's got Last Breath, so I think I'd rather just chuck this out, the island out, and then hold up the Dissolve and Horizon Chimera. So Evolving Wilds. For just a regular island. So I'm still baffled. I have no clue what I'm facing here. So another Evolving Wilds. So he's still far behind. I mean, he could use Dissolve here and a turn, but might as well get it out of his hand. So we'll flash it in. And nullify. Okay. That is fine. As now we can resolve a Chasm Skulker. Yeah, I think resolving a Chasm Skulker is fine unless he does have an Hostilities in his hand. But we'll go ahead and put that on top as well. And play this Chasm Skulker. Again, it could get Last Breath before I'm able to draw a card. But goes and gets another island. I guess he's got all of his colors, unless, again, he 4 colors, this must be. No green for a 5-color deck. So I know he's got a ton of tap lands, though, that can set him back here. But it looks like if he has it in Hostilities, now's the time for him to use it. It's going to be a Banishing Light on the Chasm Skulker. But we'll just play another one next turn. And could I actually even... I could actually leave Dissolve up, which I will. So Dissolve or Boon Satyr can come in at end of turn, and we'll just keep applying the pressure. Another Evolving Wilds. Now, I'm not going to do anything in response here. There's no point to running out of Boon Satyr. I'm just going to go for the Templar route. There's a Reclamation Sage that I can use to kill his Banishing Light. So we'll go ahead and take out the Banishing Light. And swing in for 2. And again, we got the Dissolve mana up to protect against instant hostilities. And there it is, like right on time-ish. But we'll dissolve it. And put that on bottom. And now I think that we just bestow our Boon Satyr. Nope, we won't. We'll just keep Dissolve up again. This is what's great about Tempo is the more you draw into these counter... I mean, I have an answer now, or I can flash in a Boon Satyr in a turn. Either one. Attacking with all these. And then if he kills the Chasm Skulkers, I at least get 3 1/1s to beat him down. So if even he somehow could wipe the board and be able to counterspell my Dissolve, I would still be in great shape. So this game's all but over. Again, this is what I like about Tempo. Again, I have no clue what he's playing though. We've seen it end hostilities. I'm really just wondering if this is just in here to scry and if this is just in here for a dual land. So there's the Prognostic Sphinx. I don't even think I care about that, as it doesn't do much. Yeah, we'll dissolve it anyway. And there he scoops. So, quite an easy game against Control. This has been Kevin with GatheringMagic.com. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching Playing on a Budget. If you haven't already, please subscribe to Gathering Magic and check out our Playing on a Budget playlist, which contains every episode. Thanks again, and hope to see you soon.